Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my Loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is just a very casual chatty get ready with me. Haven't done a chatty get ready with me in a couple of weeks, so I figured it was time. And we're just gonna sit back, we're gonna relax, we're gonna hang out, and we're gonna girl talk while we play with some makeup. I already have my eyes done today, and that's just because I was so completely and totally uninspired. I had no idea what I was going to do. So I brought out one of my very, very favorite creative palettes. This is the Beauty Bay Bright Mattes palette. I adore this thing so, so much. It's one of my most inspiring palettes. Every single time I open this thing and play with it, I come out with something really beautiful and bold and fun and playful, and I just love it so, so very much. Also, it's so incredibly affordable. They're almost always on sale. If you haven't tried the Beauty Bay formulas, they're so, so good. Their mattes are truly incredible. I wouldn't say that they're anything like awe-inspiring, but they're just easy to work with. They're beautifully pigmented. They blend easily. They're buildable. They're just a really, really great quality formula. On top of that, like I said, they're so, so affordable, and they're always on sale. So definitely, if you haven't played with the Beauty Bay formula, you should definitely check that out. Just in case you were on the market for something, I couldn't recommend this palette to you guys any more highly. So, if you are curious about how I did it, I did film a TikTok. I'll have the link for that in the description box below, along with everything that I'm going to play with in today's video. I honestly don't even know what I'm going to use yet, so we'll figure it out as we go. I really don't know what I'm going to talk about either. So it's an adventure. Today's video is going to be an adventure. Before we get started, I have got to talk to you about these things right here. These have been my guilty pleasure for, I want to say, the last couple of weeks. These are the Twizzlers gummies, and a little tidbit, I cannot stand Twizzlers, like the original Twizzlers, like licorice and things like that. I love the flavor of licorice, but I just can't do like the texture of to me, it's like you're eating on a pencil eraser. I just can't do it. But these things are so incredibly delicious. I just cannot get over them. And they're hard to find. Mr. Hubby found a bag at our local convenience store, and we were like so stoked. He brought it home, and it was like you could have sworn that he was bringing home like Gold Bar or something, because they're just so good. Every time we get a bag, I'm so very happy. If you like gummies, these are fantastic. Like, the texture is perfect. They're super flavorful and very fruity. Oh, if you're a candy fiend, you need these in your life. They're so yummy. Get you a big old glass of hot coffee, ice cold sweet tea. I am drinking Lipton passion fruit matcha green tea. It's so good. And let's play with some makeup. I don't have really anything on my face yet today, except for a little bit of this stuff. This is the Black Radiance Liquid Radiance Highlighter. This is in the shade Moonlit Glow. This is the prettiest iridescent kind of like fairy light, walking in moonlight with sparkles and glitter. It's just incredibly beautiful. I really love to put this on before I put my foundation on. It just gives the skin such a beautiful pearlescent kind of sheen to it that really does shine through the foundation, and it gives your skin the most beautiful, luminous, lit from within glow. It does have just a little bit of glitter in it, but the glitter particles are so fine that it doesn't translate to glitter on your face. It just looks like really beautiful, just like shine. It's just really pretty. I really like it. If you don't want to put like highlight all over your face, you can definitely use the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. This stuff is an OG at the drugstore. It is absolutely fantastic. I really adore this stuff as well. The thing about this stuff is it's got a really beautiful, very slight kind of pearlescent sheen to it. I don't know if that's going to show up on my camera. It's got a really fine pearlescence to it. No glitter in it at all whatsoever. But it also has like a really beautifully moisturizing kind of feel to it as well. So it goes on, it gives you a little hit of moisture, and also gives you a really gorgeous lit from within pearlescent kind of sheen to the skin. And it just looks so pretty. under foundation. I could really compare this to like the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Hollywood Filter. It's the same kind of premise, except this one is a very convenient little squeezy tube, and it is just so pretty. Also, you can wear it on its own because it doesn't really have any coverage to it. So if you just want to give your skin just a little bit of shine and a little bit of glow, this is really perfect. I love this thing so much. I'm going to use the Revlon Skin Caring Foundation today. I used this a couple of times, and when I tell you, this reminds me so much of my Givenchy Prisma Libre Skin Caring Glow Foundation. Oh my goodness gracious. They're like complete and exact dupes. I would say that the Givenchy has just a touch more coverage than this stuff does, but oh, if you have dry skin and you're looking for a really gorgeous, very lightweight kind of foundation for summertime, this is it. This is going to be it for you. I think it's around $11 at the drugstore. Packaging is fantastic. It's got a great little pump on it. And it's like super runny and very liquidy. It goes on and it's so lightweight on the skin and just really beautifully moisturizing. I absolutely adore it. Revlon, I don't know what it is, but they've been coming out with some bangers here recently. There's just seems like there is a lot from the brand that I just cannot live without. This foundation is a new absolute holy grail of mine. It wears beautifully as well. It just looks so pretty on the skin. Oh, and it fades so gracefully. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm just going to add a little bit of my Cover FX custom cover drops because I want a little bit more coverage today, just because my eye look is a little bit out there. I feel like I need just a little bit of coverage going on. Also, I have quite a bit of redness going on today, and my dark circles are pretty bad, so we're going to pump up the coverage. So I definitely need my custom cover drops. I'm just going to mix 2 drops of the custom cover into these Revlon foundation and just kind of dot it all over my skin. 2 drops of that custom cover stuff is really all you need because it's like pure pigment in a bottle. I came across those one day. I was at Burke's and I had never even heard of Cover FX before, and I was like, what in the world is a custom cover drop? So of course I got on my phone and I googled what it was before I even purchased it, and I read the description and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty nifty. I got it home, y'all, and when I tell you, it is probably one of my very favorite makeup accessories, because it's really not something that you need to have in your collection. But if you have a foundation that is absolutely beautiful, like the Skin Caring Foundation, but you just want to bump up the coverage just a teeny tiny little bit, y'all, these are the absolute perfect little things. You can add them to any foundation. They don't really change the color of the foundation too awful much, but they do bump up the coverage like tenfold. They're just so awesome. And you take this really beautiful, super lightweight foundation, and you still get the best of both worlds because it's still beautifully lightweight and glowy and luminous on the skin. But with those drops, it just adds a little bit of coverage. Doesn't mess with the formula. It doesn't mess with the lay down. It just bumps up the coverage, and it just looks so pretty. Look how beautiful and glowy the skin looks too. Oh, I love it so much. So diving into the like gab session of the entire thing, if you guys haven't heard, my dad passed away. My dad was battling cancer. He had been fighting cancer for, I want to say, almost 6 months, and he fought really hard, but he eventually lost his battle. He lost his battle on Friday of last week. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I don't even remember. I've been so brain dead the last couple of days. But he passed away last week, end of last week, and we had his like memorial dinner on Saturday. And it was just really healing. If you guys have ever dealt with the death of a loved one, this is the first death that I've really had to handle before. Luckily, I still, I don't really know any of my grandparents or anything like that. But my mom is still here, and it was the first person who's ever really been close to me that I've had to lose. And it was just completely and totally, I was expecting it, but there was a time that it just didn't feel real. I wasn't sure how to handle it. I wasn't sure how to process it. So I think I just kind of like shut down for a minute. and was like, this isn't real, this isn't happening. And then my mom is just completely and totally lost. And it was just, you know, very, very heartbreaking. But we handled it, and we went and had a memorial lunch for my dad, and my siblings and I got together along with all of their significant others, and then all of my nieces and nephews and things like that. And it, on top of it, just making it feel real and like final, it brought us a lot of closure. I wasn't able to see my dad before, you know, before he died, but I was able to talk to him on the phone and express to him how much I loved him, and you know, he was proud of me, and he knew how much I loved him and things like that. So that's just been something I've really been dealing with this week, and I don't want to deal with it again for a very, very, very long time. I think one of the worst parts of losing someone that you're close to is just how lonely it can make you feel, just how alone it can make you feel sometimes, especially right afterward. But at that point, that's when you really need to like gather together. And out of all of the horrible things that, you know, my father passing caused, one of the bright lights, one of the little specks of joy that came out of it was the fact that my siblings and I, we really pulled together. And we had all been pretty estranged before this point. So when we went and had his memorial lunch and really sat down and we looked at pictures and we reminisced, and we were really just kind of taking the time to be together, right? So that nobody felt alone and nobody felt forgotten. And it really was such a beautiful, very powerful thing. How losing someone can make you kind of close ranks and pull together in such a beautiful way. So I am, as much as, you know, I miss my father and wish that he was still here, I am so incredibly thankful that my siblings and I just kind of pulled together, and we're closer now than we have been in a very, very long time. So that was really, really wonderful. I'm actually planning to have lunch with my brother and sister this weekend, which I absolutely cannot wait for. So there's that. And then, you know, I've been just kind of like, you know, trying to find, when my dad passed, it makes you think, right? When you lose somebody, it makes you think, and it makes you kind of fully, finally understand just how finite life is, right? We're not guaranteed tomorrow. And it made me start to think about what I was doing with my life and what I was doing with my time, right? Because that's the biggest thing. What was I doing with my time? What, you know, am I making every day count? Things like that. And then I got to thinking about hobbies and what I do with my everyday. And I just got to thinking, as mothers and as women in general, or even if you have children, or if you have any kind of responsibility, right? If you have any kind of people that rely on you or count on you in any way, it is so easy to begin to live your life for other people. It is so easy to begin to forget that you are important. And that's one of the biggest reasons I sign off every video with "don't forget you're important," because I do think that it is so easy for us to forget our own individual importance. It's important to remember that our wants and our needs are just as important as everyone else's. And that's something I've really been thinking about here recently, and trying to kind of dive into what makes me happy, right? I enjoy my makeup. I love my makeup so much. Coming in here and filming these videos and sitting down to talk to you guys is one of my very, very favorite things to do in the whole wide world. But when I'm not doing that, I'm cooking, or I'm cleaning, or I'm making lunches, or I'm living my life for other people. And I decided that I'm going to stop doing that. And part of that is, as a parent, you can be the guilt. Like, the mom guilt is so real, right? You feel guilty for doing something for yourself. You feel guilty for taking that time for yourself, because I should be doing this, or I should be doing that, or this could be dusted, or I could be shampooing carpets. whatever. And it's really difficult to sit there and kind of like take a step back and realize that you need to take care of yourself as well. You weren't born to take care of other people. You were born to live. You were born to enjoy your life. That's why the good Lord put us on the earth, right? So don't forget to take that time to sit down and explore who you are apart from your family. I think it can be so easy to just get caught up in what you do for every other person in your life that can become your personality, right? And we've all been through it, right? We have kids and our personality instantly becomes, well, I'm a mom. This is what I do. This is who I am now. And especially as my son gets older, he's 13 now, and he is so incredibly independent. He doesn't need me 90% of the time. He's still up my hiney because he's a mama's boy. But, as he gets older and the more that he kind of pulls away from me, the more I kind of realize that I don't know what to do with myself. I used to have so many hobbies, and I don't do or devote time to any of my hobbies anymore. And, if I'm not filming a video and playing with my makeup, like I said, I'm cooking, cleaning, devoting myself to other people. So it kind of made me sit down and kind of analyze who I am. And I think part of what I want to focus on now is kind of finding myself again. And I know it sounds so incredibly cliche and so corny, but I do. I want to find out who I am as a person. Seems like for most of my adult life, I've been a mom. I had Sean when I was 19, and I was still basically a baby when I had him. So I never really had a chance to go out and find myself and find the things that I enjoyed and find the pieces of life that made me happy. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take this year and I'm really just going to explore myself, explore who I am as a person, explore the things that make me happy outside of being a mother, because I love being a mom. It is, like I said, it's one of the defining facets of my personality. But I have to remember that it is just a facet. All of us are so multidimensional and multifaceted. There are a million and one different things that go into making each and every one of us so unique. And I want to find what my uniqueness is. I want to find what really makes me happy. So I went on Amazon and I ordered, I love doing diamond paintings, but I never have time. I never have time I love doing puzzles and things like that, but I never have time I never give myself time to just sit down and enjoy doing something I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start in doing things that I enjoy. I'm going to start doing things that make me happy and do things that don't necessarily benefit someone else. As mothers and as caregivers, I feel like we live lives of service. And believe it or not, another thing that really made me think about this is because I watched the movie The Menu, and I know this is going to sound so completely and entirely ridiculous, but it really just kind of was like a light bulb, aha kind of moment. If you haven't seen the movie The Menu, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it was really, really good. It's a dark comedy, and it's got Ralph Fiennes in it, and it's basically about a chef who pretty much goes crazy and ends up throwing he has a restaurant, and it's a very exclusive restaurant, and he ends up inviting all of these people to come and eat at his restaurant, but unbeknownst to them, this is the last meal that all of them, will ever eat. It's kind of the whole premise of the movie, but throughout the movie, he kind of talks about the fact that there are people who are takers and there are people who are givers. And not to sound like I'm, empathizing with a mass murderer. That's not the best look, but it made a little bit of sense because, I feel like we give and we give and we give and we are so busy refilling everybody else's cup that we don't take the time to see if our cup needs a top off as well. And when we're empty, how can we help others how can we help refill others' cups when ours is empty, when we run out of things to give? So I am very excited. I'm very excited to kind of explore this new kind of this new facet of my personality. I want to see who I am as a person outside of being a mother and a wife. And I'm very, very excited to see where it leads me. On top of that, speaking of food and menus and things like that, y'all, how do you get your children and your husbands to eat new foods? And the reason I say this is because my husband, I love him dearly. I love him so much, but he is a Southern boy, born and bred, and he is an incredibly picky eater. And my son isn't, my son's not really a super picky eater, but it seems like the older he gets, the more the pickier he gets about what he's eating. And I've been trying to introduce new vegetables and things like that, because I get so freaking tired of eating the same dinners over and over and over again. My husband could eat a hamburger every single night for supper and be the happiest man on the planet. But I'm really trying to kind of expand our palettes just a little bit, and I want to get some more fresh fruit and like healthier food options, because, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. I have chunked out. The last, I want to say, year and a half. And I'd really like to work on myself just a little bit. I can just feel the weight, and I can just feel myself heavy. And I'd like to lose a little bit of weight. So I'm trying to introduce some healthier food options. And I think I tried to introduce couscous, and they were not having it. I also tried to introduce butternut squash. They were not having it. He was like, it tastes like a really bad potato. He was like, why would a potato be sweet? My son said this. He just wasn't having it. So I guess what I'm looking for is some suggestions. Like, what do you, when you're introducing a new food, what do you do? And also, what kind of foods would you suggest? Like, they are very much meat and potato kind of guys, and they'll eat asparagus and green beans and corn. But I just kind of want to introduce mainly new vegetables. I don't have a problem getting them to eat proteins and things like that, but their vegetables definitely are one of those things that I just want to get more. I just want to get more on the plate. So any kind of suggestions for vegetables would be really, really great. I can sometimes get them to eat Brussels sprouts and cabbage and things like that, but that's on a rare occasion. They'll sometimes eat carrots. I make carrots, like glazed carrots, and I use maple syrup and stuff like that, so they're really sweet and yummy. But I want to introduce more vegetables. If I put a salad in front of my husband and said, here you go, dinner is served, he'd look at me like I lost my darn mind. So yeah, any help that you guys could provide in that area would be really, really appreciated. On top of that, after I've been thinking about this whole thing, right? Thinking about my life, and I was feeling really, really lonely. My husband, he has been working really, really hard to take care of us, and he was working for a promotion, which he got. So we're very, very happy. We're so super thankful. He applied for the promotion, I want to say about a month ago, and actually just started the new position today. We're so super happy. He gets to come home on his lunch break and stuff now because he works closer to home. It was wonderful. Today was wonderful. So very, very happy about that. But because he's been working so hard, he comes home and he's absolutely exhausted. And, I don't want to put more on his plate by telling him, babe, I'm lonely. I need you to spend time with me. And, after my dad passed and I started thinking about everything, I was like, you know what? I am too old and life moves too quickly for me to just sit here and not say anything, right? So I sat down with him yesterday, actually, and I had this big, long conversation. I told him, I was like, babe, I love you so, so much. I was like, but I need more from you. I need more time. I need you to try, and we just need to spend more time together. And he looked at me, and I had no idea, but he was actually feeling exactly the same way. I feel like, especially my husband and I have been together 13 years now, and I feel like you can get complacent, and you get to this point where things are just the way that they are, and you forget, you stop putting effort into your relationship. You stop putting effort into hanging out with each other and spending time together. And we had gotten into, unfortunately, a really big rut, and we had just stopped putting effort into each other. We had stopped putting effort into spending time with each other and making each other feel like we were important still. And we sat down and we had a really, like, a long heart-to-heart conversation, and we ended up settling on scheduling time to be together. And I know that sounds just about the least romantic thing on the planet, but when you're busy, you kind of have to do that, right? And what we were doing just wasn't working. So we sat down and we told each other that every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, we're going to sit down and watch a movie together. We're going to sit down and play a board game together. We absolutely adore playing board games and having like family game nights and stuff like that. It was one of our favorite things to do on a weekly basis, and we stopped doing it. And again, you just stop putting the effort in. You let other things become more important, and our relationship was just really, really suffering because of that. And I was like, oh, well, it could just be a rut. But no, the rut happens because you let the rut happen, right? So we sat down and we said, we're going to, 3 times a week, we're going to make a point to sit down and watch a movie or play a board game. Just spend a couple of hours together and just kind of like rebond, right? Reaffirm that we're important to each other. So last night we watched The Menu. We sat down and we watched a movie together, and I tell you what, we had the best freaking time. And again, it wasn't like we were doing anything super special, and it wasn't like, we were going out and spending money or anything like that, but we just took the time to sit down together and just be together. And I tell you what, I woke up today and I felt so wonderful. I felt like, even though I'm sad because things have happened, I woke up today with such a new lease on life. I woke up feeling like, that my sky wasn't falling anymore, and I woke up with hope. That's what it was. I woke up with hope that things can and will get better. And it is such a beautiful feeling. I just cannot even express to you how much happier I was today, even after just, one night of just being with my husband. And when we sat down to watch the movie, I made a point to sit right next to him, and I made a point to like rub on him and touch his hand, things like that. I think you can forget, especially after you've been with someone for so long, I think it can be really easy to forget how important touch is, right? How important the pecks on the cheek, or, the hugs, or the holding each other's hand. I feel like it can be so easy to forget how important that kind of stuff is. And we had gotten to the point where I just felt like we were roommates. I felt like he was just somebody that I saw in passing. And I didn't, that wasn't what I signed up for. And I know that wasn't what my husband signed up for. He's going out and he's busting his hiney, trying to like make money and make sure we're happy and taken care of and provided for. And I'm busting my butt inside the house, trying to make sure everything is clean and make sure that everyone is, taken care of, and everyone is happy and fed. And we weren't focusing on the whole, the nucleus of our entire world, right? Because our family doesn't work if we don't work, right? And we had to kind of realize that our relationship is important. The way that we feel about each other, the way that we interact with each other, the bond that we share, it is important. It's just as important as the money in the bank or the food on the table. Feelings and closeness and all of that good stuff, it's just important. And you would think that it would be complete, like, common sense, right? But as life kind of just gets in the way sometimes, and other things become more important, and you have to make sure that you realize and remember and understand that life doesn't work if we don't work. So I am so super happy. I just feel like a new day has dawned, so to speak, and I just feel like we're finally we're getting there. We're not there yet, and definitely I'm not sitting here trying to preach to you like we've got it all figured out and like our life is perfect, because by far it is. We're just about the least perfect people, I know, but we're working on it. And I think what gives me the most hope is knowing that he still wants to work on it with me, right? He doesn't want to walk away. He doesn't want it to, he doesn't not care. And I think that's where I was getting at. Like, I was at a certain point where I just thought he just didn't care anymore. I just thought he didn't want to hang out with me. And it is so funny how easy it is to misunderstand and to miscommunicate. It's absolutely crazy. Y'all, I have sat here and I've droned on for a good amount of time. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to add just a little bit of bronzer and a lippy. And I will, of course, post finished pictures over on Instagram and Facebook. Guys, I want you to know how very important you are to me. I want you to know how grateful I am that you click on my videos, that you come and hang out. You guys are a very, very bright spot in my life. And I love you so very much. As always, I'll list everything in the description box, all the links to all my other socials, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff, all the products that I used in today's video. And of course, if you have any questions, all you got to do is shoot me a comment and I will get back to you. No filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera, doing my makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.